Hello class. Today we will take up international relations. Now international relations, the word itself says the relation within the states in the world. Now international relations is not a very new concept. It has always been there, but the academic study of this subject, that is international relations, it started in the early 20th century. That was only after the First World War in the year 1919, 1919. For the first time, international relations was taken up as the formal academic discipline in Britain. So it was Eurocentric. It started in the European nations. Now, international relations is an academic discipline that focuses on the study of the interaction of the actors in international politics. Now, actors, there are two type of actors. One is the state and the other are the non-state actors. State includes the government, and non-state actors, they are like the NGOs, the MNCs, the monetary institutions. So these form the non-state actors. So it studies the international politics, including the states, non-state actors such as the United Nations, International Monetary Funds, World Bank, NGOs, MNCs, etc. Now, before 1945, international relation was limited to the study of the governments of different countries, their foreign policies, etc. But ever since it has started in 1919, it has been growing very rapidly. And now it includes a lot of other things into the study of international relations. So now we will take up that what are the fields that we study under international relations. The first is the nation states. Now, nation state means the countries. In international relations, the countries are referred to as states. So it studies about the nation states. So it studies the relationship between, the interaction between the different states in the world. Now, each and every state has its own geography. They have their own resources, they have their own population, industries, technological development, they have their own national interests. Now, when all these things are a part of state, obviously we cannot ignore the study of these factors. So when we study the nation states, we study these factors also. We study the geography of that country, we study the resources, how do they impact or affect the politics of a country. So all these things, the population, the people, all these things are studied under the states. The next scope is national interest. Now, all the state, national interest means something which is in the benefit of a particular country. All the states, whether big or small, powerful or weak, everybody tries to secure their own interest. When they are interacting with the other countries, other states, they try to secure their own interest, keeping in mind that the other's interest is not hindered, because if the interest of the other is affected, there may be a conflict. So they try to adjust their relations with the other nations. So each and every state tries to secure its national interest. So national interest is also a part of the scope of international relations. Then the national power. Now, it is on the basis of power that each nation possesses, they form their policies, the foreign policies. And the power or the influence of the states, it determines that how well will a nation be able to carry out its foreign policy. And on the basis of the powers which each state exhibit, they are defined as superpowers, big powers, small powers. So power is of utmost importance to all the nations, and therefore it is important to study the national power. That means how powerful different states are and categorize them. The next is foreign policy. Now, foreign policy is a very well thought out course of action, and this is done to secure the national objective and interest of a country. Now, if a country, like objective, say a country wants to expand its market, so it will try and formulate its foreign policy into that particular manner. Now, if a country is powerful enough, it has got influence over the other nations, it will be able to fulfill its foreign policy. So, the extent of national power a country exhibits determines the ability of the countries to follow their foreign policies. So, the basis for foreign policy is the national power. Now, besides the foreign policy, the economic instruments of international relations are also very important to study. Now, nowadays, none like all the countries, they need financial assistance. When the countries are trading with each other, they need foreign currencies to trade. So at times they fall short of the currency, so they have to approach the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, etc. So the study of these economic instruments like the foreign aid, the loan, etc., these things also influences the relation between the nations. So it is important to study the economic instruments of international relations. Then there are international institutions and regional organizations. International institutions such as the UN, United Nations, which almost 192 countries are the members of United Nations. So it influences the decision making of these countries. Beside the international institutions, there are regional organizations like we have SARC, NATO, CETO. Then trading blocs, there are trading blocs G8, G7, G20. Now, these are the nations which have associated themselves into regional blocs, and they carry on trade or activities amongst themselves in order to promote welfare of these nations. And the countries who are the members of these nations are bound by the rules and regulations of these organizations. So it becomes important to study these international institutions and regional organizations because they influence the relation amongst the nations. Then we have non-state actors like the non-government organizations, NGOs, human rights commissions. We have then MNCs, these multinational corporations. All these things, they also affect the relations between the countries. There are regulators of international relations like environment, human rights. So all these things are also studied under the international relations. Then the current challenges which are posed by terrorism, um, then the war, the threat of third world war, the armament race, the nuclear weapon, all these are also the current global problems going on around the world. And this is important to study because if we want to save the risk of third world war and we want to save the world from any disaster, we have to study all these things because it is a all these things, they pose a big threat to the humankind. So understanding the relation between the nations will help us avert these uh, calamities that may happen in future. So study of scope of international relation has widened over the years, and it helps us understand the polity of the different nations. So this is the scope of international relations. Now the questions are based on the scope. Now you may be asked question like the first question may be what is political science. Then you may be asked the difference between traditional and the modern approach of political science. What is the scope of political science? The various, like you have your political theory, comparative politics, international relations, administration. So that's the scope of political science. Now, individually, these areas, like what is the scope of comparative politics, or for 2 marks questions you may be asked what is comparative politics, what is political theory. So you have to know the meaning of these terms: international relations, political theory, comparative politics, and you should know the scope. Now, each question, because carries 6 marks, you are required to write at least 6 points for 6 marks. So any 6 points of the scope of international relations or comparative politics can be taken up to explain. Now you don't have to only mention these points, you have to also explain these points. Now with this video, I'm attaching the PDF for the topics that I'm covering. So please go through that in detail. And if there's any query, please do ask. Till then, stay safe and take care. Thank you.